Talk of a recession often triggers fear, but preparation begins with clarity rather than panic. Understanding what uncertainty really demands allows calmer, more effective decisions before pressure arrives. Economic slowdowns are not unusual events. They are recurring phases that test behavior, patience, and planning rather than intelligence or prediction skills. The first step in preparing for a recession in 2026 is accepting uncertainty. Waiting for perfect clarity delays action and increases vulnerability when conditions shift suddenly. Many people react to recession warnings by freezing. Inaction feels safe, but lack of preparation quietly increases risk over time. Preparation starts with strengthening foundations. Stable basics reduce emotional reactions when external conditions become unpredictable. Cash flow awareness becomes critical. Knowing exactly what comes in and what goes out creates control when income or expenses fluctuate. Another early step is reducing unnecessary financial friction. Eliminating waste frees resources that can be redirected toward stability. Building an emergency buffer is not optional during uncertain periods. Even a modest reserve reduces pressure to make harmful decisions later. Recessions expose overextension. High fixed costs limit flexibility and force action at unfavorable moments. Lowering recurring commitments increases resilience. Flexibility provides room to adapt rather than react. Preparing for 2026 also means reviewing debt carefully. Debt that feels manageable in stable times becomes heavier when conditions tighten. Prioritizing high-interest obligations reduces long-term drag. Lower financial pressure improves decision quality under stress. Another step is separating short-term safety money from long-term investment capital. Clear boundaries prevent panic-driven withdrawals. Recessions test emotional control. Decisions made from fear often create lasting damage that preparation could have prevented. Avoid relying on predictions. Forecasts change, but disciplined preparation remains useful regardless of timing. Strengthening skills is another form of preparation. Skills increase adaptability when job security or income stability weakens. Diversifying income sources can reduce reliance on a single stream. Even small side capabilities add confidence and flexibility. Preparing mentally matters as much as preparing financially. Expecting discomfort reduces shock when conditions worsen. Many people underestimate how mindset affects outcomes. Calm thinking preserves optionality when others feel forced to act. Another step is simplifying financial systems. Fewer moving parts reduce confusion during stressful periods. Recessions punish complexity. Simple plans are easier to follow when emotions run high. Reviewing spending priorities clarifies what truly matters. This clarity supports quicker adjustments if income changes. Avoid lifestyle inflation before uncertainty arrives. Stability today creates protection tomorrow. Preparing for 2026 also means planning for slower progress. Adjusting expectations reduces frustration during downturns. Recessions reveal the cost of impatience. Those who prepared early face fewer urgent decisions. Another important step is protecting health and energy. Physical and mental stability support better judgment under pressure. Recessions often bring negative narratives. Limiting constant news consumption protects emotional balance. Preparing is not about fear. It is about creating margin so fear has less influence later. Early preparation transforms uncertainty into manageable risk. Calm readiness replaces reactive behavior when conditions change. Another important preparation step is stress testing your finances. Imagining reduced income or higher expenses reveals weaknesses that can be addressed calmly before pressure becomes real. Recessions often expose reliance on fragile assumptions. Questioning what depends on ideal conditions helps identify where resilience needs strengthening. Preparing for 2026 means building margin into everyday life. Margin creates options, and options reduce the need for rushed decisions. Many people underestimate how small adjustments add protection. Gradual changes are easier to maintain and less disruptive than sudden reactions later. Another step is prioritizing liquidity. Accessible funds provide flexibility when timing matters more than returns. Recessions reward those who can wait. Liquidity allows patience instead of forcing sales or commitments at the wrong moment. Reviewing insurance coverage is also part of preparation. Gaps discovered during a crisis are expensive and stressful to fix. Another habit is reducing dependency on variable expenses. Predictability lowers anxiety and supports clearer thinking. Preparing emotionally includes accepting slower timelines. Recovery often takes longer than expected, testing endurance more than optimism. Avoid assuming quick rebounds. Conservative expectations encourage better planning and steadier behavior. Another step is identifying non-essential expenses early. Knowing what can be paused prevents emotional decision-making under stress. Recessions challenge confidence. Preparation replaces hope with structure when uncertainty rises. Strengthening relationships is also protective. Support networks matter when opportunities or challenges appear unexpectedly. Another preparation step is improving decision discipline. Rules designed now prevent emotional overrides later. Preparing for 2026 includes reviewing long-term goals. Adjustments made early reduce pressure to abandon plans entirely. Recessions often change opportunity landscapes. Those prepared can evaluate opportunities calmly rather than from desperation. Avoid overreacting to volatility. Price movement alone does not demand action when preparation is sufficient. Another step is clarifying risk tolerance honestly. Knowing limits prevents panic-driven exits during downturns. Preparing also involves protecting downside first. Survival ensures participation in eventual recovery. Many people forget that recessions are temporary. Preparation allows you to endure without making permanent mistakes. Another habit is practicing patience before it is required. Patience under calm conditions becomes usable under stress. Reducing exposure to leverage is critical. Leverage removes flexibility and magnifies pressure during contractions. Preparing for 2026 means simplifying commitments. Fewer obligations allow faster adaptation to changing conditions. Another step is reinforcing saving discipline. Consistency creates buffers that matter most during downturns. Avoid chasing safety illusions. True safety comes from flexibility, not from trying to predict outcomes. Preparing mentally includes rehearsing uncertainty. Familiarity reduces fear when situations unfold unpredictably. Another preparation step is organizing documents and finances. Order reduces friction when decisions must be made quickly. Recessions test focus. Clear priorities prevent distraction by noise and fear-driven narratives. Preparing early allows choice. Choice preserves dignity and confidence when others feel constrained. Ultimately, preparation shifts power back to you. Calm readiness transforms recession risk into manageable challenge. Another crucial step in preparing for a recession is protecting long-term perspective. Short-term disruption should not erase carefully built plans that were designed to endure cycles. Recessions often magnify emotional mistakes. Preparation reduces the intensity of emotions, allowing decisions to remain aligned with long-term intent. Avoid letting fear redefine your identity. Economic conditions change, but values and discipline should remain stable. Preparing for 2026 also means resisting urgency. Urgent decisions often feel necessary, but rarely produce the best outcomes. Another step is maintaining flexibility in career and income choices. Adaptability increases resilience when traditional paths temporarily narrow. Recessions reward those who can adjust without abandoning principles. Flexibility and discipline must work together. Protecting savings from emotional withdrawals is essential. Clear rules prevent fear from undoing years of careful preparation. Another habit is reviewing assumptions regularly. What worked before may need adjustment without being discarded entirely. Recessions challenge optimism. Realistic expectations protect morale and reduce disappointment during slow recoveries. Preparing for slower growth reduces frustration. Patience becomes easier when timelines are adjusted in advance. Another step is preserving optionality. Options allow calm evaluation of opportunities rather than reactive acceptance. Recessions often reshape priorities. Preparation helps you choose intentionally rather than being forced into decisions. Avoid anchoring to past prices or conditions. Flexibility requires releasing outdated reference points. Another important habit is staying informed without becoming overwhelmed. Selective information intake supports clarity. Recessions test confidence quietly. Confidence built on preparation holds stronger than confidence built on recent success. Preparing also involves protecting your environment. Reducing constant exposure to fear-driven narratives supports emotional balance. Another step is accepting discomfort as normal. Discomfort does not mean failure. It signals participation in the process. Recessions expose fragile plans. Preparation strengthens plans so they bend instead of break. Avoid dramatic lifestyle changes in response to fear. Gradual adjustments preserve stability and confidence. Preparing for 2026 includes reinforcing daily routines. Routine anchors behavior when uncertainty rises. Another habit is focusing on controllable actions. Behavior remains controllable even when outcomes are not. Recessions challenge patience deeply. Prepared individuals rely on systems rather than emotions. Another step is maintaining humility. Acknowledging uncertainty prevents overconfidence and reckless behavior. Preparing early reduces regret. Fewer rushed decisions mean fewer irreversible mistakes. Recessions also create selective opportunities. Preparation allows calm evaluation rather than forced participation. Avoid mistaking activity for progress. Sometimes restraint is the most productive action. Another habit is protecting relationships. Strong connections provide perspective and support during stress. Preparing mentally includes rehearsing calm responses. Practice makes composure accessible under pressure. Recessions test endurance more than intelligence. Preparation builds endurance quietly. Another step is trusting your preparation. Doubt fades when systems are tested and proven resilient. Preparing for 2026 ultimately means accepting cycles. Cycles do not reward panic. They reward readiness. Those who prepare early experience recessions differently. Uncertainty becomes manageable rather than overwhelming. In the end, recession preparation is not about predicting disaster. It is about building stability, flexibility, and calm before uncertainty arrives. Preparing for a recession also requires emotional honesty. Acknowledging fears early allows them to be managed thoughtfully rather than denied until they surface under pressure. Another final step is reinforcing trust in your systems. Systems built deliberately provide guidance when emotions attempt to override judgment. Recessions reveal preparation gaps quickly. Closing those gaps now reduces the likelihood of regret when choices become limited. Preparing for 2026 means choosing steadiness over heroics. Quiet, disciplined behavior consistently outperforms dramatic reactions during uncertainty. Another important realization is that preparation is ongoing. Small, regular adjustments matter more than one-time actions. In the end, a recession does not reward those who panic or predict perfectly. It rewards those who prepared calmly, stayed flexible, and trusted long-term discipline.